Hi, I'm Andy, a collection specialist at Credit Sage. My goal is to help people learn how they can remove LVNV Funding LLC from their credit report, and in many cases without paying their debt at all. So if that's you or someone you know, I'm confident that you're going to walk away from this video knowing what the next best step is for you to take. Now, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't take action. You know, for example, if you know or believe that LVNV Funding LLC or any of the other accounts on your credit report are the result of identity theft or have a wrong balance after you've already paid, or any other major issues that are seriously affecting your life, you may be owed a settlement. Now, we work with a network of local attorneys that will work on your behalf at zero cost to you, win or lose. And in addition to that, we can get the account deleted permanently. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, if there are no issues like that exist and you just want the account removed from your credit report, we can help with that too. Just give us a call. I'll put our number in the description below for you. So let's get through some of the most important questions that we get about this company. Firstly, and really important, is can you be arrested or get jail time for a debt with LVNV Funding LLC? I put this one at the top of the list because we have a lot of callers that are terrified that this could happen. And I sympathize with that because few people are really taught how credit and debit or debt work in school. I mean, I didn't know the answer to the question until I got into the business. Now, fortunately, unless the debt is related to specifically to unpaid taxes or unpaid child support, you cannot be arrested or get jail time. So no need to worry about that whatsoever. The other thing to remember is that the amount of debt doesn't matter either. I mean, you could refuse to pay $1,000 or $1 million and anything in between, and you will not be arrested or get jail time. So now, who is LVNV Funding LLC, and why are they on your credit report? Very common question. So they are what's referred to as a debt collector or credit collection agency. And how they work is they buy debts, unpaid accounts, like credit cards, for example, often for very cheap. And then they try to collect the full amount, okay? For example, imagine for a moment that, for whatever reason, you have an unpaid card with Capital One for just $1,000, just to throw a number out there. LVNV Funding LLC could, in theory, come along and buy the debt for $100. But now, they don't try to collect that amount. They try to collect the full $1,000 from you, right? So this gives them a 10x return on their investment. Now think about that. That is a lot of money. These companies make a lot of money off of collections like this. So how do they do that? Damaging your credit score by reporting the debt to your credit report is one of the primary strategies that they have to get you to pay. However, what many people don't know is that paying a debt on your credit report doesn't actually remove it from your credit report. The account will sit there for 7 years, damaging your score, paid or not. Okay, so a lot of the time paying it isn't in your best interest, and it can just be a waste of money. And in rare cases, paying the debt can actually hurt your score even further. In addition to credit reporting, they may send scary letters or call a lot, even calling your family members and colleagues. So in this situation, if collectors have ever threatened you in any way or harassed you during non-business hours, you may be owed a lawsuit. So again, that's another case where you'd want to give us a call and we can connect you with a local specialist that will take action quickly. You don't have to stand for that. Should you negotiate a settlement with LVNV Funding LLC? So settling your debt with LVNV Funding depends on your goal. Typically, if you're wanting to improve your credit score, paying isn't the best option. Why, you may ask? Well, because, as I mentioned, even if you pay the collection, it will remain on your credit report for 7 years, damaging your score that whole time. So that's really not going to help you. Instead, I always recommend working with an expert like us to review these accounts for you. Because what we do is if certain issues exist, the accounts may be removed. And this is a win-win. You won't have to waste your money paying a debt that won't help your score. And the negative account gets removed from your report. So it's perfect. So how do you remove LVNV Funding LLC from your credit report? So the Fair Credit Reporting Act gives every person the power to challenge information on their report. So I will say that the knowledge required to do this is a little more involved than it might seem. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't learn how to do it, but be prepared to spend weeks, possibly months, learning how to do it properly. However, if you'd like to hire a professional to handle it for you and ensure it's done properly the first time and save the extra time, well, that's what we're here for. We'd be happy to take care of it for you. I personally have dealt with LVNV Funding LLC accounts many times, and I can tell you they regularly have issues. And we've helped numerous clients deal with them. And we'll take care of it for you if you'd prefer to do it that way. This one's great. I get this all the time. How can I get LVNV Funding LLC to stop calling you? So as I mentioned before, LVNV Funding LLC will be calling you. This is their attempt to collect the debt they've purchased, and that's just part of their job. Which means the only reason that they'll stop calling you is if you settle your debt with them. Or you work with a company like ours to have them potentially removed from your report altogether. Will LVNV Funding LLC try suing or garnishing my wages? Excellent question. LVNV Funding LLC suing you is unlikely. Now, it can, and it does happen from time to time, but in our experience, it's rare. There are many laws around how long they can sue for and what they can do if they win, and it's just a long process. However, if we're able to come in and find certain issues with the account, then they won't be able to collect at all, which is another benefit of using an expert like us. What are my rights when dealing with LVNV Funding LLC? So you have the right to dispute any of your debt that LVNV Funding has purchased. LVNV is governed by the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, the FDCPA. And as mentioned before, the Fair Credit Reporting Act, FCRA. And now, these acts may seem very complicated, and they can be, but they provide a great deal of power to the consumer if you know how to use them properly. Now, if you don't have the time to research these, and I don't blame you, it's not a problem. Give us a call, and we can discuss your options and look at what the best approach is. So again, I'll put our number in the description for you, and with that, thank you so much for watching.